Right, thank you, John. Yes, strategy. Well, it is our business. You shouldn't really be doing this unless you've got a strategy of some kind. And as I think it's become quite obvious, once you get involved in this kind of activity, you've always got to be thinking of the future, because things change so quickly, requirements change so quickly, technology changes quickly. And so we have always had a sort of strategic view of what we are up to. And traditionally, the first question you ask when you're strategizing is, where are we now? Right, well, our current network is quite limited. It's limited in terms of performance, 1 to 2 megabits per second user experience at best. Its reliability is not as good as it could or should be, and we lose connectivity fairly regularly, which is irritating for the likes of myself and others who have to try and fix it. And the range of the network is fairly limited at around 2 kilometres. The current technical solution imposes a limit on the bandwidth available to users of around 3 meg. So even if we had access to the full 100 meg that are coming down our pipe, we would still only be able to deliver 3 meg to our subscribers, which isn't really in the way of future-proofing. And obviously, as the number of subscribers increases and the applications that they use demand faster speeds, increased bandwidth, the network will fail to meet their requirements. And so we have to try and find a way of improving things and moving with the times. So where do we want to be? Well, obviously, we want to be next generation access enabled. We want a minimum of 50 meg symmetrical. And we want to extend our range to reach more households, at least 5 kilometres, if not more. And we want to improve our reliability. And all of this will actually improve the customer experience. And at the end of the day, that is actually what really matters. If people are paying you money for a service, they want to feel they're getting good value for that money. We also want to be able to increase the number of our subscribers and thereby keep prices roughly at a level, even though what we're doing might cost us more. Improving services generally cost more. But we think that if we improve services, then we will get more subscribers, and the service will remain viable. How do we get there? Well, our plan was to, first of all, try and purchase additional backhaul bandwidth. Our present suppliers are prepared to provide up to 10 meg for us. We can just about afford 8 meg at the moment. We think in a year or two's time, as things expand a little, we should be able to afford 10 meg. It's not a great deal compared to the 50 meg that we aspire to, or the 100 meg that we know is coming into the village, but we are constrained by finances and economics. It's certainly a lot better than what we're getting at the moment and can provide at the moment. We've decided to move from 2.4 gig to 5 gig wireless technology for improved speed, improved range and improved reliability. We plan to contract with an established community broadband company to supply, install and support the new network. Our current IT specialists who support the mesh network are remote in terms of their physical location. They're also a bit remote in terms of the amount of engagement we've seen from them as well. We're really looking for something that's a lot more engaged and which we feel we can rely on in terms of keeping the service going. And we set out to secure a rural development programme for England grant to fund the project. Where are we up to now? Well, we were successful in securing our grant from the Cumbria Fells and Dales RDPE in September. We engaged another community interest company called NextGen Us UK to design, install and commission a 5 gig network. So far we've got 3 new nodes up and running, with 2 more in progress right now. Yesterday the kit was installed on the 2 roofs, and hopefully by Monday they will be connected and part of the new network. We've been running some connectivity tests at the new location that I showed you before, where we hope to extend the network to, and so far we've had pretty good results, so we're quite optimistic that we'll be able to extend connectivity that far out. How do we see our future? Well, we aspire to next generation access, and we believe that this can only be delivered properly by means of fibre to the premises. Other methods, I think, have to be regarded as either interim steps, such as Fi-Wi, fibre plus wireless, wireless on its own, or satellite. They all have their place, and as Barry indicated earlier, even satellite has its place where a location is so remote that it is just not cost effective to connect it in any other way. We want to steer clear of the digital dead ends. Anything involving copper we think is a digital dead end, so we'd really like to steer clear of that, and that includes fibre to the cabinet, because even from the cabinet to the home it's still copper. And I think really that the final third, of which we are part, should be leapfrogging the copper-based solutions of the other 2/3 and aim for future-proof solutions that are practical and affordable. And I think that's where everybody in this room should be setting their sights. Not just running to try and catch up with the rest of the country, but actually running to get ahead, and I'm sure it can be done. With the support of Cumbria County Council, we are currently exploring, as an immediate possibility, some affordable backhaul up to 100 meg, and the installation of a fibre to the premises cabinet in the village. If we're successful with that, we will then start fibring up our wireless nodes, and then ultimately we should be able to fibre up every individual subscriber. And that's really where we're aiming. So thank you very much for listening.